Hear me out here on VO2 Max, sprints for high performance. Now, I like primarily bodybuilding training, but in the midst of that routine as well, I've been prioritizing cardio and realizing that's always a key. It's gonna help you just move food around better. You're gonna breathe better. You're gonna have better stamina. You're gonna recover better between sets. You'll just have better endurance in life in general. But one thing I realized was, okay, I'm hitting these long distance cardios, whether they're long walks I'm taking, steady state, and I'm hitting that mid-range, maybe with the bicycle and the elliptical. But then I thought, there's also a VO2 max and a high heart rate zone. What benefits could I gain if I dabbled into that high heart rate zone? So at my gym, they have this assault runner, and it's pretty much a treadmill with no settings on it. The further you lean forward, the faster you run. And just once a week, maybe twice a week, at the end of my workout, when I already do my lifting and I'll do cardio at the end of every workout, I'll add 3 sets of sprints for about 15-20 second sprints all out. And I'll go on the elliptical for a couple minutes, let my heart rate go back down, and then I'll hop right forward onto that assault runner, hit that thing hard, 15-20 seconds, hit that super high heart rate zone where your chest is pumping and you're breathing hard, and then I'll go back to the elliptical and take it easy, let my heart rate come down, and I just do 3 sets of that. I'm adding that in once a week, I think the past week, twice a week, and instead of just doing my like steady state mid heart rate zone, and holy cow, I tell you, it has been a game changer. It feels like it gives you an unbelievably oxygenated, euphoric feeling. You're just totally in the zone and ready to go. Not only does it wake the system up, it gives you this strong sense of accomplishment. You know, just like you hit a really hard set in the gym and you're pushing to failure and you got everything you could possibly give. The sprint was kind of the same fashion, but in a cardiovascular sense, super satisfying. Hit cardio, shoot, I tell you, that's where it's at. No, but I understand it's also a higher stress response, right? To do hit cardio. It requires more energy demands. You're digging into a high intensity field, just like if you're hitting a bunch of sets at the gym. When you're training to failure, it's like hitting a set of failure versus a set where you kind of just took it easy and you held a bunch of reps in reserve. With this cardiovascular training, I understand the demands are going to be high. That's why I'm like, let's just add in a few sets here and there and make sure that we're hitting that heart rate zone. So therefore, we're hitting that steady state lower medium, and then we're also hitting that higher. And I'm just realizing, holy cow, does it open you up? It just feels like it complements the style of training that I really enjoy, and then a bunch of you enjoy too if you're lifting weights. You know as well as I do, we're just hitting that set really hard, really quick. The intensity's high, the volume's low, and just kind of like that best bang for your buck with like the shortest amount of time duration. So if this is something that sounds appealing to you, because if you're listening to this, you're probably like lifting weights or optimizing or just generally looking at all kinds of different wellness hacks in general, this is one that's been fun, exciting to add in, where it's not going to be detrimental to my gains and my progress of like holding this muscle, affecting the lean state that I'm in, or dampening recovery to where there's too many demands that are required. But putting it right in the midst of my routine, where you hit a weightlifting session and say that day you're feeling pretty fresh, right? I'm like, okay, I'm ready for sprints right now. I got some extra in the tank, and that might be the day you can do those 3 sets of those sprints at the end. It's the one we have at my gym. It's called the Assault Runner. I don't know if you guys have it at your gym, but the treadmill pretty much mimics a U, right? And the further back you stand in it, the slower you're able to run. And then when you lean forward, you're kind of like, you're digging into that more that upright range with that U shape. And that's where the speed comes, and you can just totally max out your sprint. And the fact that it's easy on the joints, that's a huge win. That's a game changer right there. So it's one of those things where you just know it's helping you and it's keeping it in the routine. It's going to definitely have its benefits. Opens you up type feeling. I mean, sure, if you've done like boxing or swimming or or any kind of sports in general, you've gassed yourself to a pretty high limit. So let me hear from you. I want to know if you guys incorporate that VO2 max in your routine and if you've gained benefits from it too. All right, talk soon.